What's up, y'all? I'm Jordy, and today I'm going to be using this super off-meta team. This team I stole from the Pokesports Discord. It's created by Bobo92. Thank you very much for posting this. And I'm going to be making a couple slight changes, but I'll address them when we get to it. This team mainly stars Mega Raichu Y, which I don't think I've actually used yet, which is weird because it's such a good mod. Its Mega ability is No Guard, so it's allowed to throw off Zap Cannons and Focus Blasts that don't miss, and this one throws a little bit of a weird curveball by having Dazzling Gleam as well. Good spread damage, good type coverage. Garchomps aren't going to be expecting it, for example. So, pretty nice. We've also got a lot of offense. We've got Life Orb Dragapult. We've got Zoroark for Illusion. Raichu gets faked out a lot, so if you lead Zoroark and disguise it as a Raichu, that can be a great way to, first of all, keep your Raichu safe in the back while you weaken things into range and also bait the opponents. I'm going to put Hyper Voice on this Zoroark over Sludge Bomb, though. So that's one of the changes. The other change I made is Dragapult is now faster than it is here. Here it hits 203 speed. I wanted to make sure it was faster than Delphox all the time. I also changed the Scizor to be bulkier. But we've got a Scizor here with Metal Coat, not Mega. Just with Protect, Bullet Punch, Dual Wing Beat, and Bug Bite. Hopefully we can use that to clean up some games with Bullet Punch. And then we've got this Whimsicott. Whimsicott is kind of offensive on this team with Fairy Feather and Moonblast because the Focus Sash is already being used up. So don't sleep on the damage it can do. And then there's also a Skeledirge. I don't know how often I'm going to be bringing the Skeledirge, but Skeledirge is a really cool off-meta pick in this meta. But anyways, let's jump into these battles. Alright, it's that Blastoise Delphox stuff with King Gambit, Sinistra, Incin, Sneasler. Zoroark is a great lead here. So I'm leading Zoroark for sure. Raichu's also really nice here. We should be slower than Delphox, unfortunately, but Dragapult is actually faster than Delphox. Do I go with Dragapult? Am I worried about King Gambit? I mean, I'm always a little worried about King Gambit. Yeah, I like Dragapult. And then we'll bait this into looking like Raichu. Question is, who is the third Mon? Unaware Skeledirge would be pretty good into Delphox. And not bad into Sneasler. Really bad into Blastoise, though. Whereas we have Bullet Punch here, but all of their setup Mons resist Bullet Punch, which is crazy. Whimsicott for speed control might be the way, in the back late game speed control, and then Raichu to pretend we're a Raichu, because Raichu is a massive threat to that team. Yeah, I think this is the way. It's difficult. It's a difficult matchup. Like, they've got an amazing team, and I've got these off-meta Mons, but should be able to make something happen here. Oh, they're on a 7-game win streak. Fantastic. Alright, they go Blastoise, Sinistra. That it's not great. I'm gonna try to Bitter Malice the Blastoise, and then I'm gonna bring in Whimsicott. If they go for a Shell Smash, I can ignore Rage Powder turn 2 and try to Encore them. Plus, Whimsicott should be able to take any hit Blastoise is going for here, unless they are trying to Ice Beam the Dragapult. Doesn't really run that usually. Yeah, it's a Rage Powder, which is okay. I could have gone for Hyper Voice to get some damage down on Blastoise, but I feel like this is okay. Big damage into Sinistra is fantastic. And they do go for Shell Smash. That is cool. You now have to swap out into a Fake Out Mon and Protect. Otherwise, I get my Encore. I think I try to call that. I think I just... there's two ways to go. Do I go for the Encore anyway, or do I go for the Tailwind here, calling them to swap into a Fake Out Mon and Protect? I'm going to Tailwind. They're on a 7-game win streak. I have to assume they know what they're doing, and it seems like they do. Yes! Okay, perfect. Now we've got a turn where your Blastoise is going to get hit, and there's nothing you can do about it. Plus the Incineroar has an attack drop, which is nice. My strongest move with Zoroark probably is the Bitter Malice. That's what, 75 versus 90 times 0.75? Yeah. Bitter Malice there. Do I go for the Protect? I don't think I really care about getting chipped down. Like, I would care if they go for Flare Blitz, I guess. They're at -1 anyway. I'm just gonna go Moonblast into Blastoise. That's a Zoroark, dog. Okay, I made the right call. Fun fact, Raichu does not learn Zoroark's signature move, Bitter Malice. Just so you're aware. My opponent is apparently not aware of that fact. Okay. Goodbye Blastoise. That should be huge. That's such a huge lead. It's not over. In fact, King Gambit is actually a big problem for everything I have. King Gambit could very easily sweep my team here, honestly. I'm going to go Hyper Voice and Moonblast at King Gambit. Hey, 18% chip is more than I expected. And then this Fairy Feather Moonblast isn't anything to scoff at. Yeah, look at that. Don't drop. Thank you. Alright, Flare Blitz at -1. We've got some bulk. Yeah, we're good. Awesome. Definitely in Sucker Punch range on, like, my entire team. Except Zoroark. Yeah, you go for Swords Dance. Of course you do. I guess the play is Hyper Voice and Protect this turn. Instant swapping Sneasler? So Sinistcha. Right. Your last one was Sinistcha. Oh, they get the Sucker Punch call right. Ooh. That would have been a huge Moonblast if I had gotten it off that turn. Their Life Orb, which I don't hate to see. Getting a Bitter Malice down into Sinistcha, or more likely Incineroar, isn't the end of the world. I'm just going to attack with both here. Yeah, you can Sucker Punch either. Most likely it's going to be... Yeah, if it's a swap out, it's probably going to be Sucker Punch Whimsicott here then. Understandable. That Life Orb is chipping away, though. I'll go Dragapult. At some point, I'm just going to have to let Raichu get Sucker Punch to the face, which is not great. Here the play is Bitter Malice Incineroar because it's going to be a Sinistcha, and also click Dragon Darts, which would hit the Sinistra if they leave Dragapult alive. Okay, so they get this call right, and just Sucker Punch the Dragapult and don't swap Sinistra. We lose here. Yeah. If this is a parting shot, we're kind of still in it. No, it's a Flare Blitz. We lose. All right. Ah, King Gambit went so hard. Who did we have that was good into? I mean, we had to position Focus Blast into it earlier. Really, was our only way. But they had a position where, what you gonna do? You just Sucker Punch. I'm gonna Gleam in case they try to like swap in Sinistra and protect on the Fake Out turn. If they think I have Fake Out. But there's no reason not to just Sucker Punch, really. And then next turn you can just redirect and Sucker Punch. And then there's really nothing I can do. Yeah, let's see if this KOs. Yeah, of course it does. That's Life Orb +2 King Gambit. We're cooked. Good game to my opponent. Blastoise didn't work out, but King Gambit sure did. Yikes. Alright, we've got Blastoise, King Gambit, Delphox, Incineroar, Sneasler, and Sinistra. What do you know? Okay, so I know I need to worry about that King Gambit a lot. Zoroark was great into things not named King Gambit. Obviously, Dragapult was kind of bad overall, so I think I need to drop that. Zoroark disguised as a Raichu is fine. Real Whimsicott is also fine. Encore makes their job a lot harder. Scizor Raichu? Scizor is... I mean, if I'm really worried about King Gambit, Will-O-Wisp Unaware Skeledirge is probably my best bet. So I don't put that fourth. I put Raichu fourth. And I lead Whimsicott because I don't actually want to lead Skeledirge. But Whimsicott isn't Sash, so if it does get hit by the Fake Out, that's not the end of the world. Alright, what do we got? Sneasler, Blastoise. Zoroark loves to see Sneasler. Whimsicott, not so much. Psychic that Sneasler real quick. And if I can, I'm going to go for Moonblast into Blastoise. Get some chip damage on that, make Water Spout worse. It's always good. You have to worry about my Raichu having a faster Fake Out. You have to worry about me going for Encore with Whimsicott after you Fake Out. You have to worry about one of these being a Zoroark. Ha! It is. Alright, perfect. It is Sash Sneasler. Okay. I think it's usually Sash Sneasler on these teams. That's fine. We'll get this Moonblast, which is nice. Good damage, actually. Special attack drop? Nah. And Dark Pulse into Zoroark. Fine. So they kind of covered for that. Alright, so now you bring in... Sinistra, maybe? Let's see, what's wrong with Hyper Voice Tailwind? I don't hate that. Hit the Blastoise, cover for Sneasler staying in, cover for Incineroar coming in, by doing some damage at least. Blastoise swapping? That's not what I expected. But it is acceptable since we are going to take out the Sneasler here. And we still have him on the field immune to your Fake Out. So even if you bring Blastoise back in, you're not going to get a free smash or anything. Yeah, I like Hyper Voice here. Plus, how about a Moonblast into Incineroar? Ah, Blastoise Protect, nice. I thought one of their plays might be Protect Blastoise, and then, I don't know, hit Zoroark or Flare Blitz the Whimsicott. I'm not sure which way you'd go. You know I'm not Sash on Whimsicott. Sitrus Berry? Okay. So we get a big chunk into Instant for free, basically, but they get to take out one of our Mons. It's Whimsicott, I'm not even that mad. Oh, it's Zoroark. Sure? You just protected Blastoise. Zap Cannon is free here. Yeah, alright. Come on in, Raichu. You must have Sinistra last, right? Whatever. I'll Zap Cannon it. And then Moonblast doesn't take Incineroar. If they bring in Sinistra. Oh! No, they know they're cooked. Alright, let's go. Good job, Zoroark, mostly. We got that. See, that's how you're supposed to play that, I guess. Alright, I was gonna say, oh, it's that Toxapex Mamoswine team, but then everything else is different than what I remember. They've got a Scrafty, a Charizard. Who doesn't have a Charizard, honestly? Dragonite, and Metagross. Alright. How do I handle each of these things individually? Charizard isn't the scariest thing in the world, as long as I don't just put Scizor in front of it. Scrafty. Ooh, I have Dazzling Gleam on Raichu for that, actually. But also Focus Blast, so I'm not really too worried either way. Toxapex. Raichu loves to see. Raichu likes to see a lot of these, honestly. Raichu's really good here. I think I'd just bring it in the back end. Or maybe even disguise a Zoroark as it. Ooh, I like that. Because Raichu's such a threat, they'll want to go for Fake Out into it right away. So I'll lead Zoroark, and I'll lead it with... They are not a particularly fast team. They could have Dragonite with Tailwind, but I think I'm just going to leave my Tailwind at home. Rely on Raichu's Paralysis for our speed control, because that lets me bring an extra Pokemon, which is Skeledirge. Skeledirge is pretty good into... it's good into Metagross, but really not much else, actually. Maybe it's back-end Whimsicott. Makes me a little weaker to Toxapex, I guess, but I'm not particularly weak to Toxapex in the first place. They might leave Toxapex at home in this matchup even, so I'm not going to bring Skeledirge, who can't hit a lot of their team. Since I don't have, like, Shadow Ball. Mamoswine Pex. Alright, they did bring Pex. I can... I mean, the version of this I usually see has Ice Shard on Mamoswine. So I don't know if I really care. Oh, I disguised as Whimsicott. I meant to disguise as something else. Okay. I'm going to go for the Bitter Malice into Mamoswine and just a Dragon Darts. That's some pretty good damage. That's less good damage. And that's almost a KO. That's why you run Shadow Ball instead, folks. Oh, they do have Icicle Crash on this version. Well, that's terrible. Good. Oh! The attack drop saves us. And the infestation is into Zoroark, which can swap out. Perfect. I mean, so can Dragapult, but Dragapult would go down. Alright, leftovers on the packs is fine. Pult is going to get Ice Sharded, so we should hit the Mamoswine and just protect. I'm going to go Hyper Voice, I guess, and protect. I get God if they Wide Guard here, but I wouldn't expect Wide Guard. Mamoswine protect. Okay, trying to bait out my protect most likely. Or are you going to go Infestation to take out Dragapult? To try to take out... Okay, no, you're just going to Toxic the Zoroark too. Okay. Honestly... How important is it to keep Dragapult around? Do they have other priority moves? Not really, unless they have Bullet Punch Metagross. So yeah, I do want to keep it around. I'm going to go for the Bitter Malice because now that I clicked Hyper Voice, they could Wide Guard and get out of here to probably Raichu. We've got some physical bulk on our Raichu, so Ice Shard shouldn't be that bad anyway, if they have it. Yeah, there's Wide Guard. Cool. Baited that. But is it Ice Shard? Yeah, okay. That's not so bad. And since you just went for Wide Guard with your Toxapex, now Baneful Bunker has a good chance of failing. So the Zap Cannon is free unless they bring out Scrafty. Just for the fake out. Zoroark is taking a lot of damage, but did its job, took down Mamoswine. Got some damage on Pex. Could go for the Psychic there, too. Nice Crafty. Alright, what's stronger, Focus Blast or Dazzling Gleam? Dazzling Gleam, spread is 60, times 4 is 240, 120 times 2 is 240. It's the same. Okay. I'm going to rip Psychic into Toxapex. They're not going to see that coming. And I guess it's Focus Blast the Scrafty. I expect they might just try to fake out. I don't want to fall for them going for Wide Guard here. Yeah, they do just go for a fake out. Not Mega Evolving the Scrafty. How much do we do with this Psychic? Very nice damage. Probably an Infestation into our Raichu now. Not the end of the world. We're definitely on a timer to win this game, though, so let's pick up the pace, guys. Last turn alive for Zoroark if we stay in. So let's not. Let's bring in Whimsicott and rip Focus Blast. Let her rip, Raichu. Let's see what you can do. Gotta protect out of Scrafty. Please Baneful Bunker. Yes! Alright, we can Encore lock that and just go after Scrafty again. Or would it be better to Moonblast the Scrafty and just rip Zap Cannon into the Toxapex? If it's base Scrafty, it's probably Rosalie Berry, right? So maybe the Focus Blast is better. Yeah, I'll go for the Focus Blast. Alright, Toxapex swaps for Regenerator. Zap Cannon would have been actually pretty nice into that. And it is Mega Scrafty. Okay, so Moonblast would have been better into that. Let's see if Focus Blast can actually take out a Mega Scrafty. I would think no. Because it is a Mega Pokemon that should be pretty bulky. But we still have our speed. Okay. That's not very much damage to Scrafty, actually. And Drain Punch takes out our Raichu. That isn't great. Bring out Dragapult here. I think it's Moonblast, Dragonite, and Dragon Darts. Scrafty probably makes a Scrafty does not make a defensive play. Okay. Well, if Scrafty's attacking Dragapult, that's fine, because we get to keep our Whimsicott. Down goes the Dragonite. Please hit Dragapult. Yeah, with Throat Chop. Throat Chop's an interesting one. That gets knockoff. I would expect knockoff more, but Throat Chop has utility against, like, Sylveon, which actually would threaten you pretty big. Fake Out, Protect, Throat Chop, Drain Punch. Yeah, I guess I'll go for the Moonblast into Scrafty and Psychic into Toxapex. Toxapex has to be careful what it does, because it can get Encored later. Huge damage, almost enough. And a special defense drop, that could help. If only I had doubled in there. Alright, they correctly go for Toxic into Whimsicott. But you can't protect Scrafty this turn. This is going to be a close one. Because you have to Baneful Bunker, and then I have to Encore you, and then I have to hope Moonblast can get through all your Baneful Bunkers. Ooh, double protect on Scrafty. They landed the double protect. That's bad. That's actually really... I think we lose off of that double protect. Wait a minute. The Psychic Zoroark was useful, but not quite enough damage into this Toxapex. Should have been attacking this Scrafty the whole time, apparently. Alright, now the play is try to take advantage of that minus special defense. Hopefully we can knock out this Toxapex, but I don't think we can. And if we don't get it here, I think we're cooked. It's at -1. We've got Fairy Feather. Oh, 5%? Really? That close? Yeah, that's how close we were to victory here. With Infestation, and then Protect and Baneful Bunker. Another hit from Scrafty. And then one more turn stalled from Protect. Yeah, we're cooked. Yeah, one more turn we go down. They just have to protect. They don't even have to protect. We don't have a spread move. Good game. A close one. A cool one, too. Cool squad you got. Only needed like 5% more damage. Alright, we've got... Okay, it's that Staraptor Sand team. They've got the Milotic version. I think there's also a Houndstone version. And it's got Golden Go. I don't know if that's different. I don't remember it exactly. But the version I saw was Scarf Tyranitar. But anyway, what's good into this team is, well, our Scizor unfortunately can't really hit a Golden Go. But getting Tailwind seems like it might be pretty important. I don't love the Excadrill matchup overall. Honestly? Yeah, without speed on Raichu and chipping some things down for Raichu, this is going to be pretty difficult. So I think I'm going to try to just chip things down in the early game and then clean up with Raichu and maybe Scizor. Scizor doesn't seem bad outside of Excadrill. Oh, and Golden Go, right. So how about Whimsicott Dragapult? Dragapult's really good at doing some early game chip damage. And then we can bring Scizor Raichu. That seems okay. We're immune to Intimidate here, which is nice. Skeledirge does not have the typing to show up here. Zoroark is fine. But we're going to lose our Sash to Sand since we don't really have weather control. So I would rather just have these other four. And they can still... Zoroark still comes to the battle even when it doesn't, because it exists inside the opponent's head. Alright, oh, Frostlass Professor, very cool. And it's just Excadrill Tyranitar. Alright. Not the end of the world, really. What's wrong with Tailwind Dragon Darts? If the Excadrill is Sash, we can break the Sash. That'll be nice. We need the Tailwind. If we lose our Whimsicott this turn, it's entirely possible that we lose both this turn if we don't protect anything. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick to the plan. It's Mega Tyranitar. That is okay, I think. So we're gonna take speed control here, and then we just have to win in 4 turns. Alright, they let me hit both, which is nice. The chip is not a lot, but hopefully enough to put them both in range of anything I want to do later. Because the Excadrill without its Sash is in Focus Blast range, and the Tyranitar at 79% or so, it does go for knockoff. Okay, so we lose both Pokemon right away. Fantastic start to this match. Yeah, Raichu and Scizor. Scizor should be faster than a Tyranitar under Tailwind. Then we just have to decide how much of a boost we get from Metal Coat. It's less than, it would need to be 50% to catch up to Bug Bite. So yeah, it's Bug Bite the Tyranitar, which I think KOs from here. And then just Mega Focus Blast the Excadrill. Easy peasy. And then your main goal is going to have to be stalling out my Tailwind. But even then, Excadrill is really going to be your only Mon faster than Raichu, unless you have a Scarf user. You don't have Excadrill. Beautiful. Goodbye, Drill. And then please be enough. No! Okay, that could be bad. We've got bulk on both of these, so I don't think we go down. Oh, we go down to that, yeah. Yikes. Okay, well, we were that close to success. Oh, no. High horsepower Tyranitar. Okay, I don't see much of that. Plus it living the Bug Bite, that's crazy. That thing's so tanky. You took a Life Orb Dragon Darts into a Technician Bug Bite from Scizor. Wild. Maybe the Life Orb should have been on Scizor. Oh, Milotic, Raichu could have handled. And in the back, if they had Sinistra, they would have brought in Sinistra. If they had Staraptor, they would have brought in Staraptor. Yeah, I think we would have had it. Oh, man. Okay, so their play is Protect Tyranitar. I'm going to go for Bug Bite on Milotic. I don't think we got anything. Yeah, they're not going to protect Tyranitar anyway. Hey, we stole the Sitrus Berry. Nice. We didn't take any damage yet. Oh, that does so much. How does that Tyranitar have so much attack and so much bulk? And just burn us. Get it over with. No? Alright, I'm out of here. Good game to my opponent. We tried. I think we were in a fine position. That Tyranitar's just so tanky. Oh my goodness. Or is Scizor not as strong as I remember? Good game. Alright, we're back. Not a lot of W's today, but I think this team did pretty well, showed what it can do, showed where some of its weaknesses are. Thank you very much, Bobo92, for posting this team, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, leave a like on my video, and then subscribe to my channel. But anyways, I'm Jordy, and alright, peace.